the church you're a part of is a progressive mainline church, clearly from the
Yes.
things you just described. And yet you're in Texas, which is
Yeah.
what people think about when they think of Christianity in Texas tends to be mega churches, non-denominational, evangelical, theologically conservative evangelical churches. How do you bring those kinds of Christians into your fold, into your kind of political vision for the country when you're outspoken about your faith, but your faith often looks very different than other Christians in Texas? What does that mean for you?
Yeah, and I should say that, St. Andrew's, yes, a part of a mainline Protestant institution, but our church very much had a small e evangelical flavor to it. We were very open about bringing our faith into the public square and talking about it vocally and passionately out in the world. And so I've always felt a kinship with my evangelical brothers and sisters, because my church wasn't the kind of buttoned up, frozen chosen kind of Presbyterian church. But like you said, Christianity just looks so differently across the state of Texas, across the country. I'm thankful that here at the Capitol, I have a religiously diverse staff. We've got a Jew, a Muslim, we've got some agnostics and some atheists. And, they always come to me and they're like, what is the Christian response to this? And I always kind of chuckle because I'm like, all Christians are very different. This is it's a big tradition. It's like rock and roll. There's a lot of different ways to do rock and roll, a lot of different ways to do Christianity. And that's certainly true in a state as big and as diverse as Texas. And so I'm always cognizant of that when I'm visiting another church, which I try to do often. One of the best parts of this job is that I get to go and visit different church communities across the state. And not just churches, also mosques and synagogues and temples. And so going out into different communities and trying to connect with those communities is very helpful for me to get outside of my bubble and understand how the faith looks different in different parts of the state. I do try to focus on kind of the big things that we have in common, even though we may differ on some of the particulars. And I do think that shared moral vocabulary is an opportunity to build bridges into different communities that may have a faith that looks slightly different than mine.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, the shared moral vocabulary.